Welcome back into the Local Vibe. Last week, Jacqueline, you shared some of the books that you're reading as part of our Local Vibe book club segment that you do. And there's a book you were also listening to.
Yeah, and you know, this book is so unique. And like I said earlier, within a couple of minutes of listening to it, I just knew that I wanted to talk to you guys about it on the show. So I'm so excited that the author is here with us. This is called Mother Brain, How Neuroscience is Rewriting the Story of Parenthood. And today we are chatting with the author. We're joined now by Chelsea Conaboy. She's a health and science journalist and the author of Mother Brain. Thank you so much for joining us, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, Chelsea, we're really excited to have you here. What inspired you first to do this research into parenthood?
It was inspired by my own struggle in new motherhood. You know, my first son was born on the small side, under 6 pounds, and I just was filled with worry and about his growth and whether he was eating enough and whether I was really capable of caring for him. And I was also worried about the worry and felt like maybe it was crowding out these other things I should be feeling in that time, like the certainty of having arrived at motherhood, which I'd anticipated for so long. And I really went looking for answers that could help describe what I was feeling and what I was going through, and found them in the parental brain research.
And there was so much research that went into this book. Now, was there something you learned that most surprised you that you could share with us?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, I guess first I'd say just the idea that that anxiety that I was feeling was part of these normal brain changes that make us really hyper responsive and vigilant to caring for our babies, and that's part of this adaptive process to help us to adjust to this new role. And then one thing that I really love in this research is the sense that you know, we so often talk about mommy brain and the forgetfulness of new mothers, but there's research that indicates that this is kind of like parenthood is actually a kind of cognitive enhancement potentially, and that and when they look at the brains of older parents compared to non-parents, parents have what the researchers call younger looking brains, like slowed effects of aging, because we have this lifelong experience of adjusting to really big challenges, and it's kind of like a exercise, you know, for the brain.
Well, I mean, of course, parenthood is life-changing. What are you just hoping parents and caregivers get out of this book?
I think the first thing I want is for people to just feel validated in their own experiences, to see themselves in this research the way that I did, and to feel okay about their own individual experiences of parenthood, and hopefully even empowered by them. And I hope really that this science and you know, the book can do its part in this, can change how we talk about parenthood from being something that's sort of, you know, automatic and you know, distinctly female in a way, to something that is really like a life stage of development, of a time that changes us in really profound ways at a fundamental level, at a neurobiological level. And if we accept that, then how will that change how we talk to one another about what it means to become a parent? How could it change policy and clinical care too?
And Chelsea, I am not a parent or a traditional caregiver per se. The premise of the book I found to be really interesting, and I got so much more out of it than I thought I was going to. So what do you hope people who don't view themselves as parents or caregivers really get out of this book?
Yeah, I mean, one of the book's messages is really that there is like this evolutionary history and neurobiological underpinnings to the idea that it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise a child, and that's always been true of humans, that we need support from more than just mothers, and you know, I think friends and aunts and uncles and policymakers and people who are making decisions about how our society operates have a big role to play in that. And so I do really hope that this is a message that's bigger. Certainly the target audience is parents, but I think it's a bigger message that reflects on sort of how we live and how we design our society.
I love that. And I got that message for sure. So I'm glad that we shared that.